we have been promising. This is the day that we've been talking about.
We have, yes.
We're going to be tackling the Facebook algorithm today. Now, the algorithm might be a word that just totally turns you off and says, "Man, maybe let me skip to the next podcast because that sounds so uninteresting." But guys, you got to stay tuned. This is critically important. Yeah. We're touching on that and a couple other topics today. So if you guys want to succeed, these are the things that you need to know.
Stay tuned here.
This is the Real Estate Hustle, a podcast about everything to grow and improve your real estate career. Broadcasting on Facebook Live. Here are your hosts, Rick Robinson and Travis Green.
How's it going, Real Estate Hustlers? Rick and Travis here with the Real Estate Hustle. Right. Welcome to episode, this is a big one, 20. 2-0. Episode 20, guys.
20.
This is a milestone for us. Hey guys, if you are listening on iTunes, if you're listening on the podcast app, if you're on Stitcher, Google Play, watching on YouTube, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. We say it all the time. Those subscriptions mean a ton to us. And hey, big shout out to our listeners in Edgerton, Wisconsin.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. We appreciate you tuning in.
We've got a group of people in Edgerton, Wisconsin listening to our podcast. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. We're excited to have you. And today I'm standing here next to Mr. Travis Green. How's Travis today?
We're good. We're good. It's a good day. We're happy to be here. We got some exciting things to talk about. We're just really glad to be able to finally talk about this thing that we've been building up for. It's really exciting, and I'm anxious to hear more about what you have to say about it. Yes.
Well, guys, as you know, this month is our social media month. Everything's about social media, and so a very important month. And we're glad you guys are tuning in. And is this our last week of social media?
It might be.
It might be. February is a short month. Anyway, last month of social media, and but we hope you guys have gleaned a lot of things so far. Now, like we mentioned, we're going to dive deep into the Facebook algorithm today. We're really excited about it. And there's a reason for this. Now, the reason for this is they've made some big changes, and what's going to happen, guys, is. So Mark Zuckerberg, however you say his name, anyway, he made an announcement recently, and he said, hey, we're kind of bringing Facebook back to its roots. We want it to be about people and family and friends, and we're not going to show very many Facebook pages in your newsfeed anymore, which you guys probably have a Facebook page, a business page. So those are not going to they're not going to show up as much in the Facebook feed anymore unless you guys know what the algorithm is and how to start showing up in the feed all of a sudden. So, anyway, this is really important, guys. Please pay attention. Take notes. There's 5 things you need to be doing to go ahead and stay in the Facebook algorithm to show up in people's news feeds. So, what's happening is they're pushing away kind of the groups. People are seeing way too many ads in Facebook, and so Facebook's like, okay, fine, all right, yeah, we'll go back to what Facebook was really started for, is to stay connected with people you engage with, which are typically families and friends.
Instead of being so business overrun.
Yeah,
advertising overrun.
You scroll through Facebook, and sometimes it feels like you're driving down Main Street, and it's just a block of ads.
Just one right after the other, after the other, after the other.
Exactly. So you're going to start seeing a lot less of those, and the reason we want you guys to pay attention to this is because your competition most likely is not going to figure this out. They're going to be sitting there wondering, why? How come we're not getting very much traffic to our page anymore? Mm-hmm. How come I'm not showing up in people's news feeds anymore? And here is why they're not, and here's what you guys need to do to stay in tune with that Facebook algorithm. So I'm not going to tell you everything, but we're going to kind of give you the cliff notes of what you guys need to be doing. Now, like we talked about the last few weeks, Facebook is all about engaging. Okay, engagement is going to be critical and key to what you do on Facebook. Great, can we zoom in a little bit? Now, Facebook's going to be key and critical, and because Facebook wants you to engage with people. So that's key number 1: is start engaging with your audience. And just going through and liking people's posts isn't going to be sufficient enough. Okay, you need to start engaging with people. And making sure that you're leaving comments and not just like, hey, that's cool, hey, nice cat in the wedding outfit or whatever. Okay, it needs to be useful engagement with your audience.
So an actual, like a dialogue, not just that's nice, like you said, or whatever.
Exactly, yep. Okay. So second point is you need to be intentional with your commenting.
Okay.
And not just be kind of a drive-by liker, as some people might say.
Drive-by liker.
Scrolling
that's
through your
cool.
feed, like. Yep.
Right.
Okay, that's not going to help you very much. So those are the first 2 things. stay engaged with your audience, okay? Respond to their comments, comment on their things as well. Don't be a drive-by liker, actually do intentional comments. One thing that is going to really change is Facebook Live is going to be promoted more and show up more. So, like we've been telling you guys, make sure to go live at least once a week on your Facebook page, because those Facebook Live promotes engagement. That's the whole reason why they did it, is because people are so engaged with those Facebook videos. So those are going to receive a higher priority. And anyway, so make sure you're doing that. And then let's see here, and then also being consistent. That's another thing that's going to help you in the algorithm to kind of beat it instead of get swallowed up and lost. Now, one more thing, and I don't think I even included this in here. Now, when Facebook made the announcement of what they're changing and why they're doing it, they said they're going to show more of family, friends, and groups. Okay, so if you guys want, I think it's a really good idea to start an actual group. Like the Real Estate Hustle is a Facebook group. We're not a public page, we're a private group. So if you guys create a Facebook group with just kind of your top 100 closest clients, or the people who are, going to drive more traffic your way, you're going to have a higher preference in their newsfeed than if you were just at your Facebook page. So I would maybe, and I'm actually highly considering creating just a private group, kind of an insider group, a Team Green Real Estate insider group, so that we can stay in front of our target audience and our past clients a little more often.
That's a great idea.
So anyway, guys, those are the major changes to Facebook that have happened this month. So make sure to make those changes on your Facebook. And we are going to slightly shift gears now. Okay? Let's just say social media is done for the month.
Done.
Over.
Okay.
It pieced out of here, and we want to get more on a personal level with you guys and talk about some things that have been on our minds lately. And Travis, why don't you take it away?
That's a great point. We get caught up a lot in our world of real estate and business, and we lose focus of a few things. At least I have. I've noticed that, Rick talked about this in episode 19 and a half, just a couple days ago, about desire and purpose and the differences there and how we can apply that in our real estate or business world.
Right.
And I want to just share a couple thoughts with you about that. First off, there is a cycle that everybody has to go through. Oftentimes we'll look back and we'll see someone who's successful off in the distance, or the other real estate agent who's been doing it for 20 years, and you're the new guy and you're wondering how you get there and why he is and you're not, etc. There's a cycle that everybody goes through. When you start something, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. And the cycle is that you get excited, you start the engagement, you begin the process, you find out that it may not be as easy as you thought it was, and discouragement has a tendency to set in. So there's this cycle. But what we want you to know is that everybody goes through it. This is nothing unique to you. We have gone through this. In fact, let me give you a little personal snapshot of something that's taken place in my life that I went through this very, very thing. This is a picture of me in the background here. I raced jet skis. Rick actually took up jet ski racing himself, but I had started about 2 years ago on a more competitive level, and I remember getting out there trying to accomplish this dream that I had of jet ski racing. And I practiced and I practiced and I fell and I practiced and I fell and I practiced and I fell and got hurt and I got sore and I got tired and I got discouraged and all these things.
And you drove up a bank one time.
I was going to say, and then one time I even got things out of control, missed the turn, went right up out of the water onto the grass bank and had to drag my jet ski back in the water again. I mean, talk about going through the trenches of learning this stuff. So there's a lot that went into it. And there were times I got discouraged. There's times that I felt, why am I doing this? What is the purpose? What am I trying to accomplish? Who am I trying to impress by all this? And as I kept trying and kept working and being methodical and slowing down, sometimes mentally slowing down and taking inventory of what's going on and where the progress has been made will help you to see that you're gaining traction and you're moving forward. So with me going through these bumps and bruises, the trenches of learning how to race jet skis, took me to another level of mental awareness. It took me to another level of physical awareness, and things became better. And my races became better. And I ended up taking 16th in the world in the 2016 World Finals. It was a great experience. So relating it now back to real estate, how does this relate to that? Just understand that nothing in life comes easy. Nope. If it's worthwhile, it does not come easy. Okay? We understand you're in the trenches. We have been there, and often we still find ourselves in that. We are trying new things every day, all the time. And these bumps and bruises we talk about, the discouraging moments, the successes, the failures, all help you to become something better. If you didn't make a mistake, you wouldn't have learned anything. Yeah. You would just assume it's all normal, but you've got to have the bitter with the sweet. That you have to have the mix there. So believe me that we've been through there, and what happens is as you get through the trenches side of it, the bumps, the bruises, the scrapes, and you start seeing some success, you start winning that deal, you start putting some money in the bank, you get more listings, more friends, your Facebook presence becomes better, all of a sudden you start to get more desire. You start to breathe it and sleep with this. I mean, you want it to become successful, you grow it, and all of a sudden you become passionate about what you're doing. Now that passion is an amazing thing. It's a phenomenal drive that can get you from point A to point B, and it's not easy to get there, but the reward is fantastic. So just know something, that we've been there, we get it. We understand the trials that go along with real estate, life in general, families, whatever it may be, but we're here with you. We understand that. And all that you're going through is for a purpose to help you become better. You have to walk before you can run. You've got to make pennies before you make dollars. And it'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah, no, and that's true. And real estate's one of those industries, guys, where it's, the barriers to entry are low. Like, go take a couple classes and pass a couple tests, and you're a real estate agent.
That's true.
But it's from that point on, which I think is why so many people get into it, because it appears that it's really easy to get into, and then you quickly realize, oh man, this is not an easy career.
No, it's not.
If you don't put in insane, not just minimal effort, guys, if you are not putting in insane amounts of effort into your real estate career, you'll never be successful, ever, period. It's just not going to happen. So if you're fine with that, cool, then by all means don't be successful. But if you want to be successful in this type of career, because no one's holding your hand, no one's going to guide you through it. You're an independent contractor. For the most part, you're on your own unless you're on a team. But it's tough. It's really tough. And even people who've been in it for a long time maybe still haven't figured that out, and haven't figured out how to get out of the trenches. Now, there's a reason why you've got to be in the trenches. And the reason why is because in order to receive something greater, you have to first be expanded, not like weight-wise like I am currently, but you need to, your capacity has to be expanded. And you're never going to have that expansion of your capacity until you're in the trenches, until you're going through those hard times. Because if it was just handed to you, if someone just said, hey, Travis, here is success.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Hey, how much would you appreciate that?
You wouldn't.
Now, people might say they would, but deep down you wouldn't.
No.
Okay?
No.
And how prepared do you think you would be to actually handle that success?
How many times have you heard someone say, oh, if I only knew then what I know now?
Right.
Well, how do you get to know?
Right.
It's through experience.
I see where you're going with that, yeah.
It's through experience.
Yeah. It is. So guys, those of you who are kind of in the pits right now, who are in the trenches, who are fighting, who are clawing, who are just digging through the mud and the rocks and the getting scabs and bruises and all of that right now in your real estate career, keep going. It's going to get better.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Exactly. Now, all of it is worth it when you have your first little victory. Maybe it's your first sale, or your first $1 million in sales that you do, or whatever it might be, whatever your own personal victory is, or whatever your goal is that you achieve. All of a sudden, when you start reaching those little goals, or those little victories that you start having, all of a sudden you're starting to climb out of the trenches. You're not out of the trenches. Trust me, you're not. You still got to work hard. You still got to put in the effort, but it'll start to get a little bit easier. So, but one of the biggest things that you need to figure out, if you have not yet, is what on earth is your purpose? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you in real estate? Should you even be in real estate? Is this the path you're supposed to be going down? These are questions you guys need to be asking yourselves. Now, we're not saying, hey, get out of real estate. I mean, we want to help you guys in real estate. We love real estate. This is what we're passionate about, and this is why we are doing this podcast, is for all of you guys to help you in your real estate career. But each person individually needs to figure out what your purpose is, I would say, in life first. If you don't know what your purpose is in life, you're not going to go very much further than nowhere. Does that make any sense? It made sense in my brain when I was thinking of that.
Profound.
But anyway, Travis mentioned this. Was it in our meeting on Monday that the richest place in the world is the graveyard?
I did say that.
Can you expound on that? I don't remember exactly what you said, but it was really profound.
Yeah, if you think about it, and I've heard this discussed before, which is why I mentioned it in our Monday meeting, but too many people have great ideas that they never try. Mm-hmm. They never put the effort or the energy into seeing what will work or what won't work. And they end up dying with a lot of great ideas. I've heard it said that the graveyard is the richest place on earth because everybody dies with their greatest memories or their greatest desires, their greatest ideas that never happened, that never came to fruition because they never believed in themselves enough to try it. And so that is the message we're trying to share, is that you first need to discover what your purpose is. What's your story? What makes you you? And what do you want to contribute to society and in real estate? What do you want to get out of that? And how do you plan to get there? Because if you don't have a purpose and you just show up expecting success to be sprinkled down on top of you, you're going to be very, very disappointed. Yeah. So define your who you are, where you want to be, what your goals are, and don't match your goals to somebody else. I've heard it said before that we should never, ever compare ourselves to someone else on our bad day when they're on their best day, because it just amplifies everything. So don't compare. You don't know the story. You don't know what's going on behind the scene. Define for yourself who you are, what you want to accomplish, what you want to contribute to life and society and your real estate business. Set the plan, set the goals, and then go after them. But don't just show up.
Yeah, guys, that would be our 2 challenges for you guys. Again, this is kind of a little bit different podcast, but it's so important to us that you guys figure out what your purpose is, because your purpose is going to ignite your desire. Your desire is going to ignite your success. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, your success hinges on you guys figuring yourselves out, figuring your life out, figuring your purpose out, and what your desires actually are. So, anyway, those are the 2 challenges for you guys today. Success is exactly what you want it to be or don't want it to be. And it all depends on figuring your purpose out, your desire out, and putting in the effort to get there. So...
Absolutely. Yeah. It really does. And what you'll find is that as you develop success, whatever that means to you, don't compare your success to the other guy. One guy's success may be to be a multi-millionaire, whatever it is. Yours is to pay off your car and just be happy. Right. Whatever it may be. So define your success, how many deals is successful to you, how much money you think is comfortable to have in the bank, whatever it is, but don't get lost and caught up in the keeping up with the Joneses, as we've heard that said before. So when it comes to success, there's a few things that we need to talk about. With the real estate agent who does put forth the effort, who shows up every day, has the systems in place, defines who they are, what they want to contribute to the industry, and they start finding success. They're working hard, they're putting forth the effort. All of a sudden, checks start coming in, and there becomes another problem. The problem is greed. Mm-hmm. It's the idea that I'm entitled. I've made all this money. I can go spend it. I can do this. I can do that. Which in some situations that can be true. You've earned it, so you can do what you need to do with it. But there is a responsibility that comes with your success. Mm-hmm. Success does not mean do what I want for me all the time. No one else matters. I'm me. It's all my world. When you become successful, people start noticing, and then you have this responsibility to deal well with that. I talked with a gentleman some years ago who lives in Florida, and in the conversation that I had with him, he was telling me about this good friend of his that was very, very wealthy, multi-millionaire, did a lot in commercial real estate, and with his wealth, he was extremely unhappy. And I said, why? He's got millions of dollars. Why is he unhappy?
Yeah,
he
says, can buy anything.
You could buy about anything you wanted to with these multi-millions of dollars. And you know why he said he was so unhappy?
Why is that?
Because he said he's not a billionaire. He's a multi-millionaire, and he's unhappy with life because he's not a billionaire.
Yeah.
There becomes a problem.
That's dangerous.
Very dangerous. So watch yourselves. As you become successful, that's great. We encourage that.
Yeah.
But with that comes responsibility and a different mindset. So be aware of that. A lot of times people, when they find success, feel entitled to just spend money. And there are a lot of, as I just explained, unhappy millionaires out there.
Tons.
A lot of unhappy millionaires.
We know a lot of them.
It's hard to understand that. Yeah. But it's very, very true that money simply doesn't buy happiness.
You know, and if I could just interrupt you real quick. So I worked for a guy. I don't think he listens to our podcast, so I feel safe. I feel safe talking about this. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so my career prior to real estate, many years ago, I worked for a guy, awesome guy, fantastic guy, really good guy. But he walked into a contract that was millions and millions and millions of dollars, and all of a sudden he went from, making $30 to $40K a year to making millions. But he had that struggle of, okay, well, I've got all this money. Now I just need to go buy stuff. And so I did all of his insurance, and I handled, I basically ran his company for him. But what was scary to me is just watching how he got trapped in that. And 26 cars later, and about 30 razors and cabins, and just spending money like there was no tomorrow, all of a sudden, money was gone. And he had developed this lifestyle and this massive beast that had to be fed. I mean, we're talking insurance payments and taxes. Mm-hmm. And there was so much money that had to be spent just to maintain what he had, that all of a sudden when the economy tanked and things went south, it was a bad deal for him. And I think his deal was, every time he bought something, it brought him a little bit of happiness, but it expired. It had an expiration date on it. So as soon as that wasn't very exciting anymore, he'd go buy something else, and then something else, and then something else. And it was actually really scary to watch and really, really sad to watch kind of the path that led him down. He is a fantastic guy. I don't want to say that he's not, but it's just one of those things that people can get trapped in that you got to be really mindful of.
You're right. Those traps are very real. The senses of entitlement, or the senses of just, I want to be happy right now, and that is an animal. Yeah. It is a big, big animal. And I've known people who do that very, very thing. Let me buy this. It'll make me happy for a minute. When the newness wears off, they're unhappy again, and it starts over. So very, very important to enjoy success, reach after success. You are here on earth to be successful. You are not here, you were not brought to this earth to just sit around like a stump on a log. You are here to be successful, and that's okay. The difference is what you decide to do with your success.
And you want to know who the happiest people are on earth. It's the people who are caught serving others, or the people who are not caught. Yeah, got caught.
Yeah.
The people who are
that you find serving others.
Well, yeah. So you want to talk to people aren't happy because of their success. Generally, those people who are really successful, who are really happy, is because they're involved in serving other people. And you want to find out if you want to find out what your purpose is on this earth, then go start serving people.
That's right. That's where the true happiness comes. Now, money can buy you stuff, and that's fine because stuff is important. You got to have a roof on your head. You got to have a reliable car. You got to have clothes on your back and all that. Mm-hmm. Great. And it's okay if they have a name brand on them. That's fine. But true happiness is service.
Yep.
Time with your family.
Yep.
Time with helping others. It's being social. It's a lot of those kind of things that really deliver true happiness. So keep that in mind. It's very, very important, and something we felt we wanted to share with you.
Which is why real estate is so hard, because in order to be successful, you've got to put in the time, you've got to put in the energy, you've got to put forth insane amounts of effort. So it's a balance, guys. If you go back to our 4 Bs, it was like episode 8, or I don't remember which episode it was. But talking about balancing the 4 aspects of your life, body, being, balance, and business. I'm surprised I remember those. Anyway, if one is weighing more than the other, or they're not balanced, then that's when things kind of start getting a little bit scary and out of control. So make sure that you're keeping that balance in your life. So Anyway, a little bit different take on today's podcast, but it's something we felt pretty strongly about sharing.
There's a lot to life. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of joys. Life is this amazing ebb and flow of emotions and feelings and trials and what's it all for? It helps us grow. It helps us to become better. It helps us to think more clear. It helps us to gain talents and skills. And then our purpose, the meaning of our lives is to acquire talents and skills.
Yeah.
The purpose of our lives is to give them away for the sake of others.
Yeah.
To help those around you. And that is the true mission of our company, Team Green Real Estate, the Real Estate Hustle, is to help build others and to share what we have learned, not just keep it inside in a little pretty little box in our back pocket, but to share what we've learned and help others become better. That's what we want. We want to hear from you. We want to know what your trials are, your struggles, your successes. We want to visit with you. We want to help.
And we don't ever want you guys to think that that we've got it easy.
Not at all.
Because we don't. We're in the trenches with you guys. Yes, we have been successful. We've been able to do some really neat things, but we're very much in the trenches with you guys. We understand your needs. We're not up here and you guys are down here. We're right here with you guys. So just remember that.
There's no cruise control. We don't ever reach a point where you say, I've arrived.
Right.
And you're there.
Yep.
So you take these steps, you find success, you take another step, you bump back a little bit, you go further, you 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and you kind of work your way, but you never get to the point, and don't expect to get to the point where you just arrive.
Yep.
And then cruise control is the norm. You're always going to be growing, you're always going to be becoming, and you will till the day it's over.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
So be prepared for it.
Yep, very much so. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us on today's podcast. Make sure to join us next week, 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We are going to be introducing the new theme for March, which we're very excited about. Also, we had somebody Facebook message us today asking about the customer service webinar. We had some other projects kind of jump in front of that we've got to get taken care of first. So that is on pause. It's about 95% completed. So we will get that finished up, get the webinar out to you guys as soon as we can, but it is going to be delayed a little bit. We also have our book coming out. It actually is officially on Amazon, but we've got some other cool ways for you guys to get it besides paying full price on Amazon.
Yeah.
We're actually launching a website where you guys can get it for free.
For free. We're excited about that.
Yep, absolutely. So make sure to join us next week, 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, here on the Real Estate Hustle page if you want to watch it live. And if not, you can access it anytime in the podcast app, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Watch it on YouTube, come back to our Facebook page, and now in Spotify. So
very cool. Yeah.
But anyway, guys, break's over, right?
Break's over. Time to get to work.
Time to get back to work. Thanks for joining us today, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.